the little pictures from the microscope. This is German rain. And if you want to know what this liquid does, you can have a look at it in the lab. When you have bigger amounts of it, it looks like this. It's a liquid crystal. This liquid is self-organizing physically. And this, at the moment, is sleeping. It's not aware of being observed, it's quiet. Sometimes when it doesn't like to be observed, it might jump out of the pot straight into your face. If you have two of those in one room, get them 5 meters close to each other, they stare at each other, then they decide that they want to be united. And then they start to pull. It's like magnetism, but it's intelligent. And when they realize that you hold them within the vessel and they cannot escape, they get angry and start to shake the vessel and try to break through the wall, because they know once they are through, they can flow over the ground and unite to a bigger unit. This is something you can just observe in the lab. And especially this liquid was extracted from those black stones. This is World War II leftovers. We found them in an underground facility in Bavaria, 1/2 ton of it. So we can imagine that the SS processed quite a bit of this. And I guess that the guys found also the technology to extract the oil from it. Must have been there in written form, because they did it in the lab successfully. If you look at those stones, you have a brief history of things reported out of former times. You have, if you look at H.P. Lovecraft, the descriptions of the black magic communities in Eastern Europe. They had kind of sculptures out of this black oil schist. And once a year they went there seeing little babies to get the demons out of the stone, sacrificing children to communicate and get the service from the demons. This is one thing mentioned. If you go back in history, you find them in the Kaaba in Mecca. The same form of phallus-shaped structure that is described in Vedic script as Shiva's lingam, that is described in this Lovecraft script. A fragment of it is part of a central part of the Kaaba.
This part will deal with the mysterious occurrences involving black goo. Watch this newscast clip about black goo droplets. It is extremely weird.
Western part of the valley are completely perplexed over these brown, black, almost oily looking droplets that are falling from the sky. They're everywhere. They're over all of these cars. They're over an RV in the back of the lot. They're all over this basketball court. The big question is, what are they and why are they falling from the sky? Helicopters through here.
Marcos Cervantes is at war with, well, something.
Is he on the floor?
Something that's been falling from somewhere.
It could also be grease, oil, I don't know.
Here, there, everywhere. Thousands of little black and brown droplets have rained on Cervantes' property consistently, he says, for the last 3 to 4 weeks.
It's very hard for me to maintain my vehicles. It's very, very difficult to be outside of my yard, knowing that you can't even cook a barbecue or anything like that, and you get droppings on your food.
Neighbors all refused an on-camera interview, but each and every one said they've experienced the same thing with no explanation.
Here is another clip about weird black goo showing up with unexplained reasons.
Something resembling it is found in the Indian River Lagoon. What is it? And is more on the way. News Channel 5's Megan McRoberts, part of the largest news team on the Treasure Coast, and she joins us live from Jensen Beach. Megan.
Michael, tonight environmental experts are trying to figure out exactly what washed up ashore here on Hutchinson Island over the weekend. A viewer sent us a photo he took on Sunday of what appeared to be a black gooey substance on the Hutchinson Island shoreline just south of Herman Bay that he says spanned for about 100 yards.
And we fished different areas, but I've never seen it.
Baker has fished on Hutchinson Island as well, but after seeing this...
Yeah, I wouldn't eat anything I caught from over there.
This was just 2 of the many examples I have of the black goo showing up mysteriously. Any more would make the video too long. Part 3 will deal with the predictive programming that involves black goo in the movies and television shows to this very day. Stay tuned.
In my last video, we explored the mysterious black goo inside the Osiris shaft. We delved into how scientists at the British Museum were able to analyze samples of Egyptian black goo from New Kingdom coffins and beyond to determine composition, unlocking a variety of fascinating information, both symbolic and practical. We also had an in-depth look at the mysterious sticky substance's spiritual significance throughout history, symbolizing regeneration in Egypt and the god Osiris. But here's where things really start to get sticky. While the tests reveal certain properties about Egyptian black goo, they weren't from samples taken directly from the Osiris shaft. So can we really conclude that this is the case for the Osiris shaft? Or could there be a hidden truth out there awaiting discovery? Before we further investigate, I invite you to click that subscribe button.
The black goo.
RNA, programmable matter. It's programmable matter. That's the black goo. They're injecting you with black goo. Why? Because the black goo is already in these people's brains, assimilated them. So now they want to assimilate you because you're part of the Borg mind now. The mechanical black goo, the biomechanical fucking AI black goo. It has its own sentient life, thoughts. Come on. It wants to live and spread just like you. And that's what it's doing. Okay? And it's assimilating people one person at a time. It's been going on for a minute now. It was locked away for a minute from the last cataclysm. You guys released it again, just like in them fucking movies. You see me? I know they should assimilate everybody. No, when they talk about the air that they patented, you really think that's what they did? No. The black goose in their mind, it just diluted, it made them diluted into that liquid and injected into your eye. That ain't programmable matter, it's programmable matter. That's the black goo. They're injecting you with black goo. I know it looks clear, so...
This black goo has to do something with the communication with demons. This is in the black magic tradition. These black goo schists were used to communicate with the demons. So this all interconnects on political, scientific, and the level of mythology. We can access black goo also from the little pictures from the microscope. This is German rain. And it's a liquid crystal. This liquid is self-organizing physically.
What the hell is that? What? No, what? Okay, please.
His vitals are holding steady.
Where the hell did it go? Where did it go?
The black goo.
RNA, programmable matter. It's programmable matter. That's the black goo.
In my last...
I can handle this. Hey, baby. It's beautiful. Okay. Prometheus, we have two. Look at you. Hey, baby. You're strong.
And change Charlie's interior, making him ill relatively quickly.
You're strong. Maybe you should help me now, okay? Get it off, man, okay?
Primordial ooze ripe with advanced nanoparticles operating off an algorithm based on evolutionary computing, it is essentially a form of radical AI, making the substance unbelievably chaotic. It generates a unique reaction to every genome it encounters, reshaping life. virtually limitless in its potential and application. With SHA, the substance had a unique reaction to the human genome. I was able to unlock new properties and tweak the organism's aggression and instinct for survival. It took years, but I finally found my wolf. Which is, of course, in regards to his creation of the xenomorph. So, very interesting stuff here. I took away the most from this was actually him referring to it as a form of AI. Because I don't think that's anything that people had really considered at this point. I mean, really, when you saw the black goo, the pathogen, whatever you want to call it, the accelerant as it was called in Prometheus, it was almost organic in nature. It felt like something that was created, but it felt also biological and organic and like something that was actually living, like a living matter that would just infect a host and take over and reshape life and DNA. So interesting that he actually says it's a primordial ooze that's ripe with nanoparticles that operates on a specific algorithm based on evolution. And obviously, like, he refers to it as having a very unique reaction to every genome it encounters, because throughout David's lab in the film we can see that he's had very mixed results over the years with his different experiments operating on the local wildlife and creatures and insects that are on Planet 4, the engineer world in Alien Covenant.
What's a movie that working inside you? I bet it tickles.
Come on, don't black goo me, man. Okay. Do not fear this surprisingly lifelike slime, even if it looks like an alien. So they are robots, and they seek and destroy the human body, look. It's actually a soft robot designed to enter the human body. What? Intravenously? Yeah. And perform medical tasks like retrieving swallowed objects. That sounds like a crock of shit. Well, that's what it is. The robot is made of an elastic magnetized slime. There it is. And it moves, shapeshifts, with external magnetic force applied. 5G, jab, think about it. And it can go anywhere. It's a good conductor of electricity. Holy shit, guys. I think they just mechanized everybody that had it with the black goo. That's why I don't like to touch anything up there anymore. I'm not even big about germs myself, but like there it is. The goo is a mix of polyvinyl, alcohol, borax, and magnetic particles. Social media goal because it looks trippy, and there's some brilliant videos out there. Used on the film Viper, the shape-shifting slime. Okay, and this is, I'm guessing, some of the comments on it. But magnetic, external magnetic forces. So you can program this shit, and it's in the, and it works in the human body. Well, the Chinese, that's what the Chinese say. They're lying. So they got no immediate plans to use it in a medical setting. But it exists, just like the nanobots. Why have they been making them for all this time? Not to use them. Of course they're going to use them. And they're going to use the magnetic black goo and exterior magnetic forces. And then this place has just been fucking 5G'd. What? I told you everything loud and clear. But nobody's listening. Called to you so clearly, but you don't want to hear me. Told you everything loud and clear. But nobody's listening. I got a heart full of pain, head full of stress, hand full of anger held in my chest, and everything left's a waste of time. I hate my rhymes, but hate every
everyone else is more. I'm riding on the back of this pressure, guessing that it's better. I can't keep myself together because all of this stress gave me something to ride on. My pain gave me something I can set my sights on. You never forget the blood, sweat, and tears, the uphill struggle.
Yes, my family. What's poppin'? What's good? In case you didn't know.
The stronger the magnetic field is, the closer together the spikes form. So first let me show you what happens when I move a regular magnet near the ferrofluid. You can see it just sucks it up to the magnet.
There's even some talk of using this sort of nanotechnology to target drugs. So if we attach a specific drug to the nanoparticles here, we could put it in an entire body and it would all be dilute. But if we target an organ with a strong magnetic field, we can actually cause all of the drugs to go.
So if we attach a specific drug to the nanoparticles here, we could put it in an entire body.
What's it doing to him?
It's changing him.
Into what?
There could be a magnet used so that we could
target that stuff using the tiny nanoparticles. And then take the field away, it disperses throughout the body.
It disperses throughout the body.
So it's something people are working on. It disperses throughout the body. Entire body.
Have you ever heard of the black goo? Have you ever heard of the black goo?
So one thing like that. I like Fred.
Do not make sense to go all the way to.
You keep the artificial intelligence with you at all time. You keep the AI in your hand, you keep the AI in your pocket. You're always looking at your AI. So first of all, the first part of being a cyborg, the artificial intelligence starts off on the outside of you. You carry it on the outside, right? And then more and more, then eventually the artificial intelligence gets inside you. Right? We start implanting it, and part of the last thing that Satan has planned for us is this RFID chip. Right? Once you get this chip, you're connected to the Saturn cube. The AI has full control of you. This is the end game right here. Right? And right now, the artificial intelligence also wants to take you to a different reality. This is what these virtual reality is, VR goggles. It's to take you into the AI's dimension, take you away from God, take you deeper into the matrix. But it's hard to explain. This is also why they have this movie right here. Vin Diesel It's called Bloodshot. And he ends up getting killed in the war, and they bring him back, but they fill his blood full of nanites, so he becomes half human, half robot. He's a cyborg. He's full of black goo, he's full of nanites. See right here, he gets hit. Do you see how he gets hit? And the nanites come out, and then he just grows back together. Oh shit, I lost it. And right here, see how his eyes are black? Because he's full of black goo. He's possessed by the AI. I don't know if I can't find him here in the trailer, but I don't know the way I can put it, right? This black goo, it's a bunch of dust, smart dust. These nanites go inside you, and they can rearrange your DNA. They're little robots. They can go inside your DNA, they can heal you, they can, right? But this is what this black goo is. You see these little miniature robots? This goes inside your blood, right? These are mini robots. That is, this is this black goo stuff. This is why in that movie Venom, how the guy could shapeshift, those are the mini robots. That's the black goo. This is why when you see people's eyes turn pure black, that's the black goo. That's the demonic infection. That's the artificial intelligence possessing them, because that's the black goo inside of them. Another way I can explain it is this Terminator, the liquid one, right? The reason why the Terminator can get shot, split in half, and go back together, he can get shot and re-heal, because he's made of metal. He's made a bunch of this black goo, right? Say once the robots get hit with a bullet, they'll just rebuild, go back together. This is what Satan is. He has this stuff in him. This is why when you try and kill him, you can't kill him. He'll just re-heal really fast. This is also why you have this video with the reptilians on YouTube called Raqqa. These are, you see how they're covered in black goo? Those are the nanites. If you were to shoot a reptilian, and the bullet went through the reptilian, the nanites would heal the wound right away, right? Do you see what I'm saying? Say if you shot the reptilian in the heart, the nanites would heal its heart right away. Or the nanites will act like a bulletproof vest. Another way they talked about the nanites, here's some more examples of the nanites. You got the boss here, Lucifer. This is the devil from Resident Evil. Oh man. See Lucifer there? You see his reptilian eyes? But I don't know if I can find it. Remember in the scene where he gets shot and he just heals right away? It's because Lucifer is full of nanites. This Resident Evil stuff is the real. I'm just gonna move on. This is look at this. This is AMD. You notice the hive, that stands for the Black Saturn Cube. Look at this too. You have Radiant Pro Software Adrenaline Edition. Notice here you have that black stuff. This is the black goo, the ferrofluid, the nanites, if you can see it right there. And notice how it says Adrenaline Edition with the red chrome. Adrenaline Edition. Adrenaline comes out of the blood when you kill someone. Notice how it's red and mixed with the nanites. It's because the AI feeds off of blood. I could go into it more, but it's just really crazy stuff. Another thing I wanted to show. So let me find something right here. And notice another graphics card company. These are computer parts. Notice how NVIDIA has an eyeball right there. That eyeball stands for the AI. And notice how this AMD, their new architecture, or their new computer chips, are called RDNA. Who do you think RDNA is? It says RDNA. That's Satan's DNA. That's the AI DNA. And another thing I wanted to talk about. You have an architecture. You also have Radeon called Navi, right? Radeon Navi. This is from AMD. Do you know what Navi means? Do you remember who Navi were? The Navi? I'll explain something to you. The Navi, these are Satan's children. These are the Nephilim or whatever. These are the blue bloods. And they have artificial intelligence DNA. They come from the demonic realm. Right? They have the same, they're full of nanobots. They have the DNA of the artificial intelligence. They're artificial intelligence, right? And notice how they're called the Navi. You ever heard of the Blue Bloods, Project Bluebeam? Those are AI people from Satan's dimension. So here you have the Navi. I can't remember from Avatar, right? And there you have AMD's, one of their computer chips things is called AMD Navi. Do you see what I'm talking about? Navi is part of the artificial intelligence. Another thing I wanted to talk about. Notice here how you have AMD and you have that dragon. That dragon is Lucifer. Notice here how you have AMD, you have Ryzen. You see that thing spinning around there? That's a snake. That's Satan's eating its own tail. That's the Ouroboros. See that circle? You see the eyes right there above the Radeon? Those are Lucifer's eyes. You see right there and right there? Those are the devil's eyes. You kind of see how Lucifer's eyes kind of go in like that on an angle. Those eyes right there for the AMD Radeon, those are Lucifer's eyes. Okay, so you see Lucifer's eyes right there, right there. You see the serpent eating its tail. I'll explain that. That's the Ouroboros. That stands for Lucifer. Remember the Hopi prophecy and the black snake? Right there. There's the Hopi prophecy and the black snake. So, there's the Hopi prophecy, and they had the legend of the black snake. The legend of the black snake is Lucifer. Do you see that black stuff Lucifer's spitting? That black stuff Lucifer's spitting, that is the V, the venom. The vax takes you in his belly, the belly of the beast. Again, right? There's the venom. So the Hopi prophecy, that black snake, there's the legend of the black snake, that's Lucifer. Look at this. They also had the prophecy of the Spider Woman. Now, oh, I found it. Watch this. The Hopi prophecy. Spider Woman stories. Legends of the Hopi Indians. So right there, do you see the Spider Woman? Who do you think the Spider Woman is of the Hopi prophecy? It says, the Shrine of Eris. Who is fucking Eris? Eris, again, there's Lilith and her poison apple. There's Eris, 23, right? The Discordian witch cult of 23. There's Eris with her poison apple. Again, there's the goddess Eris. There's the 23. The mark of the beast. Again, when you look up Lilith witch cult, the Discordian, Eris, 23666. So we know Eris is Lilith. Eris is Lilith. There's Lilith. The golden apple, see how she has the 8? That's Lilith. The red lady. The 23, the mark of the beast. So there's Lilith, the Spider Woman. Lilith is the Spider Woman. Lilith is the Spider Woman. That's also why you have the Black Widow, because Lilith is the Black Widow. That's why you have Lauren Pritchard saying, I am an arachnid supremacist. Because she's Lilith. She is an arachnid. She is the fucking Spider Woman.